Hey, how y'all doing? I'm glad to see y'all. I am Ronald Keith Jones II, RJ here at Planet Health Compton, the manager. Been helping things run here. That's what I do, man. Just making sure the ship is flowing and going. And I have the pleasure of sitting with my boy KJ today.
How y'all doing? KJ, Kevin Jones, multi-generational Compton native. All right, yeah. So we just gonna get to the beginning and then just start from the start and just let the people know, what led you here. How did you get to know Ro, and what brought you to Planet of Compton?
I guess the thing that so I came a year ago. A good friend of mine named Alex, she was having her very first show, art show. So I came to support her. I went to the show. After the show, just the spirit was like, go to Junior Ramen. I went to go to Junior, stepped in about 40 minutes before they closed. I ordered some food. I said I wanted this vegan flying joint, I wanted spicy, He heard me talking. He said, hey, I want to talk to you for a second. I went over there, ended up meeting the dude. It was Ro. He was like, man, today my 1 year anniversary for my spot. Someone told me to talk to you. We started chopping it up, understanding like the similarities that we had. Everything that he was mentioning was a part of my life, from the retail portion to the entertainment to the food, plant-based food, to the wellness. Everything, it was just very synonymous. So it was like, alignment. A lot of alignment. We had the goosebumps. Like, he was like, bro, you the one I've been waiting for you. Like, I really feel like you can help complete the vision. So we, the next day, I pulled up to Planet Health for the very first time with my brother Key. And we just jumped straight in. Ro was pulling stuff out the car. We pulling stuff out the car, bringing it in. We sat down. He further explained even more about his vision and what it was meant to do for Compton. And not only Compton, but like Compton's around just the planet, the globe, as they would say, right? And after that, I was like, bro, I'm with that. Like, we had to figure out how it was gonna come into fruition, but I was with it. His whole vision, everything he was about. I felt like that was the beginning of me kind of inheriting Compton too. You know what I'm saying? Like, he cared a lot about Compton.
Yeah, because I personally know, but let people know even about the travel and what you even sacrificed to even make this happen.
Nah, that's facts. So I ended up leaving and going back home. I was living in Texas, Dallas, Texas at the time, and he hit me a few times like, hey, I'm letting my people know I got my boy from Texas coming out here, blase, blase. I'm like, the first time I'm like, all right, bro, like, I hear you, you know what I'm saying? After that, he hit me, like I said, a few times, hit me up again. He like, nah, I'm serious. I want you to come out here, help manage the spot. We do this, what. And I'm like, all right, for sure. I end up, I let the holiday go by. It was about to be 4th of July. I don't really, too much care about that, but my family spending that time, and I told them after that I'm leaving. I'm headed to Compton. I'm about to jump in with this business. I'm about to help my boy Ro with what he got going on. And, they cried a little bit, all kind of stuff, but that's what we did. That's what I moved out here, jumped straight in with him. Like, straight in. 6 months, side by side, like, doing what we was doing. You know what I mean?
So you mentioned you and Ro working on a couple of things. Can you express, in detail what y'all been collaborating and work with?
One of the biggest things that we collaborated on was the back to school in the summer event last year, which we did this big event where we had Nike send products and stuff for kids, schools, backpacks, school supplies, free haircuts, jumpers out there, the gaming truck. Like, Ro ended up being in the dunk tank, kids throwing the ball, dunking them. We had events like that going on. That was like one of many that we had planned for the community. But outside of that, getting inside of the schools to get juices and better plant-based foods and options, because they don't have that in the school system in most places, but it's specifically even around here. When it came to clothes, talking with Compton Cowboys to like start working on a collection with them, with Randy and things of that nature, and just really like a lot of community work. The stuff that was going on with Nike and selling their products, coming up with more merchandise for Planet Health that looked like cut and sew work specifically.
So it's safe to say it was more centered around the promotion of a more healthy lifestyle in the urban community.
1,000%, bro. That was the main goal and mission. Like, Ro was very heavy on that. Like, all about the community, all about the kids.
And as a Compton native, I'm gonna speak for myself, but I can believe I can rightfully speak for my people when I say a lot of us don't really know about veganism, if that's the word, or you know, just the actual tips about healthy living. So is it a way you can speak to let someone know what's the stereotypes or what's a lot of the things that stray people away from it that they really don't comprehend? Because we don't really know. All we know is, honestly, for myself, it's expensive.
Nah, for sure. That's
and
one
I've
of
come
the
to find out through road that's not really the truth.
For sure, that's one of the main misconceptions is just how expensive it is, and that it's not accessible, or like they don't know what to cook, what to use, like, or they don't want to feel like they trying to replace meat or whatever. So a lot of that is just like you said, the knowledge, the exposure. Like we want to have events here to have panels to discuss this, but I would say, man, the misconception of how expensive it is just because of the lack of knowledge of what to get. You can get the black beans, you can get some rice, you can get even the pea protein, not too crazy, especially with the inflation of what groceries is today. Like all of that is no. Yeah, but hold on. Before we continue to move forward, because we was talking about community, so yes. I want to bring. I know you have helping hands. Can you explain how you met Ro, or what y'all synergy and what y'all was working on?
Yeah, so I had the pleasure of being in Ro through my partner at One Shine Youth, which is the home of Divas of Compton, the Divas and Drummers of Compton. So we really were centered more so with the clothing aspect in that partnership, because as well, you know, Ro had a passion for the clothing, the creativity. He was just an artistic genius in reality. So that's what bred that connection, and he really was just selfless in regards to just providing any form of assistance to just help us accomplish our goals, whether it was helping us with uniforms, whether it was t-shirts, providing merchandise, because we do a bunch of giveaways, and then as well, just being knowledgeable and teaching me and exposing me to this world of a healthy lifestyle. Because as well, through my program, we have a magnitude of enrichment programs that range from music engineering to film and photography, sports and health. It's health and fitness, but more so due to this partnership, that's when we focus more so on the health, because it was more centered across the fitness. Because, you know, growing up, a lot of us strive to be either athletes or rappers. But now it was more to it. When we start talking about the life expectancy, we start looking at the kids that's dealing with, you know, high blood pressure and just a lot of just health conditions. So it was the knowledge in which partnering with Ro led me to sit and say, oh, let me assist y'all on y'all mission to promote this healthier lifestyle, to actually let everybody know, listen, we in reality killing ourselves slowly.
Indeed.
When you start looking at the soil that's being produced in agriculture now, the pesticides is going into a lot of the produce, into the foods, to where just like, you know, the same food, the chicken that our grandparents was raised on is not the chicken that we eating today.
Indeed.
So it's a need that we need to switch up our diet. And that's what, you know, took for me to be sat down by Bro and had these conversations when he sat, because he took a liking to me, was just like, hey, you know, I see a lot of myself in you just actually being from the city. Because, you know, when you from the city, it's a different type of connection.
Nah,
like,
for sure.
You know, Compton is Compton, you know?
Yeah.
And it was just like, hey, you know, I rock with your vision, bro, and I really see what you're trying to do, because that's not something, ain't nobody really putting their neck on the line to sacrifice for Compton. Because we grew up in the sense of survival, like, so we selfish in reality. So to find an individual to take the time to sit and say, no, I want to take this sacrifice and do this for my people, that's a heroic act, especially when you're in the survival, you amongst the survival of the fittest.
Indeed. And I know
he's an individual that I can credit to stay back to help someone in need get back up if it was time to get to safety.
Indeed.
Everybody else gonna trample over you and get up out of here. So that's the characteristics that I identify with, that it was just like, it's bigger than me, it's bigger than us. And that's why, you feel me, when it came to that connection, as far as the community, there's no place better. And that's why I'm here today. And it's just sad that Bro not here for real.
You know, I think it's crazy though, because that same connection that I feel like you have with Ro, I also was able to develop. And the way that it was simultaneously happening on both ends for us to have this crash collision right now, I think that's just amazing within itself. So I give all praises to the Most High for that.
Definitely.
And Ro for being who he is and flowing the way he was. Like, he knew who, when he met one of the ones, he knew. And the thing that I would say is he did right by us. And I was gonna say something else, but
yeah, but well, I can always say one thing I can always go off of is alignment and energy.
Indeed.
And I believe, you know, not only was Bro one of those individuals, but as well you yourself. And you know, it's a freaky connection that we end up having a similar last name as well. So it's somehow genetically embedded. It's somehow some family ties along the way, regardless.
Indeed.
So it's just like I say, energy, spiritual alignment to where just in whatever anybody believes that is destined.
And I believe that 1,000%. We had so many things in plan for another event, like I said, the big one that we did for the kids. We was about to have the 2-year anniversary coming up. He was talking to Camila, getting that in order. We just did the Thanksgiving event. We had some more events, like I said, with Compton Cowboys. Events giving knowledge to the kids, panels, wellness panels, the meditation circles, all of those type of things. So it was, when he transitioned, it was crazy, is what I'm saying. We was right in the middle of hitting our next chapter, our next level at Planet Health Compton.
So since the transition, has there been a consistent flow of the same involvement of those programs or groups and or people just wanting to come check out and or rent the space or do those same activities and just have the establishment going? How's the sustainability been looking?
The sustainability, at the very beginning, I would say it was a lot of people that made promises that didn't keep them, per se. That was a saddening thing, just like seeing the community and how much Roe was about the community and to not really feel like people stepped up. I didn't really focus on that, but I did feel it and notice it. Because when it was time for the pieces to be put back together, it wasn't that many people involved, and that has been a journey within itself. I would say, like, we had to close down for a little while because it was about to go into holiday season. Before opening it up, having a good conversation with some of the staff members of what it was going to be like moving forward. Everybody was feeling good and feeling like we're going to do this. Like, it ain't no other choice. We're going to do this for Roe the way that Roe had it, and the legacy must continue. You know what I mean? But after that, and opening up, building it back up took a minute because there's a lot of people that pulled us specifically to see Roe, or because his energy was here and things of that nature. So the city was hurt. Like, Compton was hurt, community was hurt. People still like pulling up for their first time right now. Like, I couldn't even really come in here for real because like I just picture bro coming out like, big energy, you know what I'm saying? And so that it took some time cranking it back up, you know what I mean? Dealing with major situations on the back end, being at warfare this whole time too, when it comes to just the ownership aspect, and just that's a whole nother thing. I just remember too, right before Roe transition, we had just did the Compton giveaway for the Thanksgiving, and he had hella plates to make too, for people, and we had a program with Billie Eilish's mom, where we did food for them. So he had like almost 200 plates to make. I just remember him being in extreme motion, like he had somewhere to be, bro. Like he was really, really adamant about having somewhere to be, but we also was in here at it every single day, so he was looking forward to getting a quick break and going to Vegas, and bro had just got a new car. But he rented a car, took it to Vegas to go have a breather, a good time real quick, to come back. And I believe we was all gonna be meeting on his way back, but obviously we both know that he didn't make it back due to the tragic car accident.
Yes.
And the unforeseen accident that took place. And bro, I ain't never gonna forget getting that news. Like, I was the second person to receive that news. Like, the young lady he was talking to at the time, she called me, and I'm waking up. She like, RJ, like, Roe is gone. Like, I'm like, huh? She like, nah, Roe is gone. I don't know what to do. I'm like, okay. Like, all right. hold on, I got you. You know, I get out the phone. First thing I could hear is just like, you gotta go to Restaurant Depot. you gotta go do what he would usually go do to make sure Plenty Health is still going. I went to Restaurant Depot. Crazy enough, a week before that, it was my first time going to Restaurant Depot with him. So he actually had them give me the little card that you gotta use to scan out. He had them give me one. I thought that was crazy. I came here, and that whole day I just felt like I was breaking people's heart that whole day. Like, I had to call his dad. I had to let his dad know. I mean, people, it was that time within itself, bro. Like, it hit the community, especially Planet Health. It was people all day pulling up like, nah, is that for real? Like, nah, that can't be, nah. Like, for at least, bro, past a month, people felt like Ro was gonna be popping up laughing, telling them that, like, you know, like, it's a joke, you know what I mean? And because of that, and because how big of energy he had and how big he was, it just, like, nobody believed it or wanted to believe it, you know what I mean? Which is why I can't really blame people for not showing up, because I know most people are still in denial, you know, are still hoping for him to pull up and things of that nature. But yeah, bro, that was a crazy time. And with him not making it back, it left us a lot of things to do, which is why I respect you, because you somebody that stepped up to the plate during that time and decided, nah, we gonna fulfill everything that we was talking about. We're gonna make sure that legacy continue, you know what I mean?
Yeah, because not only did I just feel like it was really my obligation, but even leading up before the day of transition, because that was the actual, like, the day before the meet, that was the meeting day, honestly. Like, he was supposed to come back, and we were supposed to actually all collectively as a group finally come and meet, especially when, you know, like, at least I would say, give or take 2-3 weeks prior, we were still trying to get everything established with the print factory and getting all the merchandise in and trying to figure out who can, you know, get some of the interns to get taught how to manufacture a lot of the clothing. And it was scheduling issues that was going back and forth, and it was inconsistencies that it was just like, he finally just took the grasp, was like, hey, look, bro, I'm finna come figure it out. Let me go see my kids real quick. I know I'm not BSing y'all, but stuff been going on. Let me figure this out. Monday, we gonna get to it. So from my perspective, you know, Monday come around, you know, again, looking forward to it and just be like waiting, calls, no answers. But the reality was never a thought. Yeah. So I'm just like, all right, well, you know, get rescheduled again. Because at the end of the day, I can't. He's doing that the kindness of his heart, so I'm not mad at that. You know, I understand life happens, especially when you're doing somebody a favor. Indeed. You know, so it's like, I'm waiting on your time. So if it just wasn't today, it just wasn't today. And then I recall that Tuesday, T called me, my boy Terrence, and he like, hey, bro, I got some stuff I want to tell you. Like, it's, you know, he used some vulgar language, but I'm like, what happened? He said, man, it's crazy, bro. Kelly had a dream, and she was like, hey, like, 'cause we was all waiting to try to figure out what happened, you know, that whole Monday. So it went on to the night. He said his wife was laying down, just like, she was laying down, just like, hey, I felt something, like something's not right with Ro. They come down here the next day, you know, looking, and that's when everybody was up here, and we found the news out. Yeah,
I remember, and I remember that because I saw them come, and they pulled up, and I automatically, I see T, I already know them.
Because life is funny. I always say, you know, God has a sense of humor in a way. Because leading up to that, it was crazy because, you know, like I said, we had one of our interns who were trying to learn, you know, the production process and everything. And he riding mini bikes from downtown LA, coming just to come to sit, catching the bus. He calling tooth and nail like, hey, I'm trying to work, I'm trying to do whatever. So even T like, hey, KJ, that's my bad, because you feel me, he the glue, really, in a sense. Because without T, I wouldn't even have the pleasure to even be connected or even meet Ro. Yeah. You know, so he like, hey, KJ, this my bad. Like, it's not his fault, but it's just a lot going on. So I understand y'all trying to do what's going on, but work with us in a sense. You're like, it's gonna get right. And, you know, me, I'm not tripping. Listen, bro, I appreciate y'all. You know, I can ask for better communication, but once you have a consistent cycle of, you know, sometimes miscommunications, it's just like, okay, you kind of understand how certain business is going to go. And it was just disheartening because I would have rather it been that situation. I would have rather somebody just sit and say, hey, bro, I got caught up today. I couldn't make it. Rather than, man, that's what happened to my guy. All the plans, the visions, what's now? Because not like that, he providing access to us for machines that's north of $100,000, producing substantial amounts of equipment. Nobody's really just giving you access to providing them kind of tools like that, especially at the constant heart with nothing in return for real, bro.
Indeed.
Like, and that's what I mean to the credit and speaking to not only just what he did for the community involved to like with Parks and Recs and just providing services and food, what he does here with as far as the events you guys throw, from just giving somebody a comfortable space to even learn about a positive lifestyle, to learn to participate in meditation, to participate in the poetry lounges you guys have. Like, you know, he was a creator of so many things that just bred community. That it was disheartening to just be like, damn, where would that light come from? Because
Indeed.
I'm gonna be honest, because I'm in the field of the community work. It's not that many of us that's actually solely from this area that really care to give back to this area. Sadly, sadly, that's just the reality. Especially when, you know, when you putting in countless hours of sleep, like sleepless nights, trying to offer yourself. Because listen, he didn't have to do that. This all his. He could have went and said and did whatever. He didn't have to wake up to sit and say, "Oh, I'm going to the school to try to, you know, provide a healthy lunch." That's some, you know, I'm gonna actually cuss and say that's some people don't do.
Nah, for sure.
So for him to have that and now to see that light gone, because now I'm just like, well, shit, what the fuck do we do? Because now, you know, respectfully, we gotta, you know, let the family figure out the situation, and you know that's the main issue. But then once all that gets around, whatever can be done, we gotta keep the vision alive. That's been my mission. That's gonna continue to be my mission because I seen where his vision was going.
Indeed.
And it was just creating really a positive lifestyle. Not only just because eating healthy has you think healthy, has you act healthy. It's more, you feel me? It's all just a positive light that, you know, this one establishment from this one great individual was up in the air. And during that time for me, I was just like, shit, because I was intrigued and learning from you. So now, how can I learn and still receive the information, especially where it's, you know, articulated in a way where somebody from the hood can understand.
Indeed.
Yeah, so I know you had mentioned, you know, you guys had, you know, to go through a closure, send a bunch of employees home during the holidays due to unforeseen circumstances. So what is the updates since the reopening, and what, you know, what is the actual health of Planet Health Compton look like at this moment?
Man, yeah, so just to going off of what you were saying, right before the closure and things of that nature, we did have to dial it down and close it. Blissfully, it was holiday season, so it didn't like have to be that bad, but it did take longer. Like some people opened up January 2nd or something like that. I waited until like January 6th to open up, or the 7th actually, just because I was then already a precursor with, we didn't have certain things in place, such as a board, or like CEO, COO, CFO, or, you know, that type of structure hadn't been had, and everybody was just, we need to open back up, we need to open back up, we need to go, but nothing was in place. So, you know, that whole process was odd, weird, but I felt like I need to step and try to create that. We went ahead and opened up and moved forward after that discussion, even though it wasn't put down on paper. And the opening, it was cool. People was happy and elated that we opened back up. A lot of people was social media wise like, hey, I'm so proud of y'all for keeping it going. Thank y'all for keeping it going. Things of that nature. And obviously Roland's transition was still very fresh. So people was coming in and they was trickling in. After a while of that, we started cranking it up more and more. And we started like, man, it felt like we was getting closer to how it used to be. A sense of normalcy started to return into the atmosphere, into what was going on. Although even at that time, like, it was still other things happening, but when it came to Planet Health, the kitchen specifically, it was getting back to normalcy. Also with Isaiah, shout out to Isaiah Bowman and the Dr. Sabi family, their products being in the wellness portion also helped things get back to a normalcy, because people would come in to come get those, so then they're gonna get some food and the atmosphere start getting there. The Compton karaoke, we got Compton karaoke rolling, people having a great time.
Because for those that not to cut you off, but for those that don't know, then they may hear that, you know, about Planet of Compton, they may only think about the kitchen. Can you speak more so about what other establishments are in the shopping center?
Indeed.
Because the whole shopping center is under Planet Health Compton. It's not just the kitchen. So can you go into more detail about that?
No, that's true. Most people don't understand that this is an umbrella, and what all of this entail Rose's vision. Planet Health Compton is supposed to be just that. It's a place that you come and get everything. So we had the retail portion, which is VSOM. He came up with the broccoli brain, which you will see here. That's the logo. It's vegan state of mind. That's what VSOM stand for. And that we had the clothing in here. He gave opportunities for local brands to be a part of the clothing retail portion, as well as our own brand. And then even more so, we had the contract with Nike as well. And that was a huge thing.
So it's safe to say once he transitioned, a lot of the partnerships kind of transitioned and left with him as well?
It was, I would say, a good amount retained, but it was one that did for sure. But actually not. Actually thinking about it, it was multiple. Some of them just never returned, so I never really heard from them. So right now it's easy to not think about them. But when it comes to one in particular, the Nike contract was something that got caught up within that time frame, which I know a lot of people ask about the retail VSOM portion when it comes to the shoes, because he was bringing that to this neighborhood, to where right here you had the Nikes going on, you know what I'm saying? And during that transition, there was a lot of things that was like there was one individual, Walter, that came into the picture, and he started talking with them. Like, I was talking with them at first, but he came in and started talking with them. And once that happened,
so a lot of things are still just basically underway, under construction, and still in the process of rebuilding.
Indeed. We'll leave that there for now. We'll circle back around to that. Then in the portion, we had a lounge, the PH lounge, where we have the open mics once a month, the karaoke night once a month, the birthday parties we've hosted, the going to prom, what they call the champagne.
Trailblazers event.
Yes, indeed. You had your own event in there.
Yes,
really.
Yes. Thank y'all again.
Nah, thank you, bro. That was a beautiful event where you got to honor people, women specifically, that are doing great things in the community and doing your part. Like, you know, our praises to what you was doing, and I could feel the energy and how they really appreciate that. And I know that was just the first of many, which is why it's imperative that everything that we're doing now continues, so more of that can take place. And then we have the wellness portion, which is where we have like the natural soaps, the natural deodorants, the lip balms, the things that don't have all the additives in it that go on your body, which is important, the avocado oil for your skin and things of that nature. And the main thing being the pills and the herbs that you will get from Usha Village, Honduras, which is where Dr. Sabi's place was, which is now we're utilizing those pills directly to help people with diabetes, high blood pressure, cancer, HIV, AIDS, let's see, I mean, really you name it, like we helping them with it, because a lot of it is with Dr. Sabi's teaching and what he spent his life developing. And we was very blessed that Ro made a connection already through I Am Compton with Dr. Sabi's grandson, which was Isaiah Bowman. So he brings those here and that's what I was mentioning earlier.
Yes.
For sure. So yeah, that's a lot of people do think about the kitchen, but it's a lot of working pieces that be going on here. That's continued to go. To bring it back to what you were saying, like the reopening, a lot of people was excited because they had events planned or wanted to plan some events, or oh man, I was talking to Ro about doing this and then I didn't get to do it, and I'm like, all right, talk to me. What was y'all talking about? Let's get to it. So I just dove straight in and started rebuilding with the staff that we was able to keep and retain, and it got all the way up to the point to where LA Try Guy came in. Shout out to Watts Sticks. He brought in LA Try Guy. He remembered when he came during the August event, and he was like, I'm gonna circle back around. He didn't get to circle back around before Road transition, but he still made his way back. He posted it. Oh man, crazy. People pulling up. We got more than 37,000 people that seen the video. It's going nuts. And we doing the best numbers we had been doing since ever, like during this time. Like we finally, we built it back up. We doing it. We going crazy right now.
So let me ask you, moving forward, not only what do you envision, but what are the next steps that is going to be needed to be taken to get to that goal?
I'm gonna say more structure, right, to get to the goal, so we don't have to keep having rebirths. But we're gonna also need finances to really like have a real true rebirth, to get the shoes back going. We in the room right now where the retail portion was going, it's empty. That's different. You feel me? But like getting the funds to properly do this rebirth and get the Nike contract back where it needs to be able to provide that for the city. That's one of the goals. That's one of the things that I want to do off top. Having to make sure we have the produce and inventory for the kitchen, and like having the true funds to put behind that so it can flourish. And once it's going like any machine, but you gotta put some gas in it. And we need that proper things, because if we making enough just to pay the staff and then like barely if something happened and it's all breaking down, like just a good reset and have a funding to at least start with a good amount of staff and a good produce so we could be consistent with everything that we had to offer. That's one of my other goals. And then when it comes to the wellness side, it's getting reconnected with the lady with the avocado oil and the different products that can really help people, and making sure that we taking care of Isaiah and the Bowmans in their legacy, so we can, all cylinders are firing, going. And like I said, we got a good glimpse of what that was about to look like as things was building up until we hit a huge plateau, just based off of even the initial thing that I was saying in January, is we didn't have the structure business-wise. They just wanted to keep going, but we really, Road Transition, our owner, this gluing piece that was here, we need titles. So in order for everything else to go, we gotta have structure, moving forward.
Position to play.
Indeed.
What is the current status of the ownership of and everyone having a position right now?
The current status is pretty wild, bro. Like, so it was another person that was on the paperwork with Ro, the only other person of his company, and that was being used from that individual to just basically say, I'm stepping into this place, which was awkward for a while, just because I had already stepped up and been running things when it came to with the employees, the events and things of that nature. So things got choppy there. Our PSO system, in December, they let me know, because I was talking with them constantly. I was already running payroll, things of that nature. And they let me know, like, because of Ro's transition, they needed somebody that was alive to be on, like, for us to keep going and accepting payments and things of that nature. So I'm like, okay, cool. I talked to the lady. I went ahead, like, you can use my name for it. That's fine. She switched that information out. So we've been going since. When this individual stepped in, like, hey, well, I'm this now. You know what I mean? It made them go into investigations. They had to shut down the PSO system, close it down, and then open up a new one. And that transition took so long, and it didn't even have to go like that. It didn't have to be like that. But because it did, we started losing all the momentum that we had from LA Tri Guy coming in, and we're doing great and things is going cool. Now we're not able to get payments out because the money that was in the system is just sitting there. It's stuck. So in order for things to keep going, I myself, like, even though I wasn't getting paid, I was then starting to come out of my pocket and pay employees to make sure that we was able to even still keep going. And the only thing I'm like, okay, you know, I got my own stuff to take care of too, but the community, the people that come here every day, you know what I'm saying? This space is important to Compton, so it needs to stay open. So now I'm paying out of pocket, you know what I mean? That situation sent us on the whole up and down, like, cause now how we paying for produce? Now how am I gonna have the desserts in here? Then on top of that being the case, the individual's lack of urgency to get it done and really stand on top of it, it hindered a lot, bro. Like, so that ownership piece and us not having that structure and this person wielding what they feel like they had the right to do and taking certain things even out of my hands, because of that, we haven't been able to be as strong as we need to be, to the point where we almost wasn't gonna be here at all, and facing still right now possibly not being here at all. And that's a whole, like, that ownership piece and what that individual, is certain things that still wouldn't, like, outside of the payments to the staff, our bills ain't being paid, the mortgage, things of that nature, to now is it was a note put on the gate just expressing that if 121,000, you know, wasn't paid by a X date, which is that's
tomorrow.
around, that's sheesh, that is tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's tomorrow. If that's not paid, then the building is going into auction. You know what I mean? So when you ask about ownership, that hit a space, cause not only because of road transition, us not having the proper things set in place for that, but we are in a hot dilemma right now. You know what I mean? Like right now, and everything we've expressed has talked about how imperative it was to keep Road's vision going, how grand it is, and what it does for the community. Like, you know, I didn't grow up here, but I care. I inherited through my brother Ro, and coming out here, like, I care about the community. I done been in the community. I've been to Kip Compton School. I done been over here giving out free tacos and stuff to the families, meeting the kids, and etc. Meeting people like you that's
and
putting your hands in
there.
there.
The community bands together and provide something to keep this establishment going. And this is, you know, what I feel one of my callings and one of my purposes is, as a community individual and as a community leader that has outreach, for us to try to band together and actually reach out and actually ask for sustainability for this establishment, because the city needs this for real.
Nah, that's 1,000%.
And so what specifically, technically is needed? What defines this sustainability?
And what are you gonna do to save the space?
So what's needed is like I said, the proper funding. I'm gonna go micro and macro. So the micro is the funding for the produce to keep the kitchen going. You know what I'm saying? Inventory, money for the utilities and the staff. The staff mainly the staff and the inventory mainly, in order to keep the space going, in order to keep feeding the community food, and at least having one portion of our place open. Outside of that, it'll be the finances and bread for the retail portion in order to get the Nike contract back in good standards and where it needs to be. So now we don't have to only depend on the kitchen. We can have the retail portion going and providing that. That's the micro. Macro is going to be more so, like I already said, the X amount of dollars that, like the 121, or it's just full on auction, and anybody at that point can come take the ownership, and now we don't even know if we still here. So that's like right now type. That like
so it's really in the sense of starting a campaign to save Planet Health Compton in a sense.
Indeed. If I think the best thing to do at this point is to more so break the silence of the silent war that's been going on, having conversations. Only reason I'm talking to you is because you are true Compton, fourth generational, you care. You know what I mean? Definitely. Me not being from here, I didn't know too many people that I could talk with and feel comfortable with letting in on the situation and seeing what is it that we could do. You know what I'm saying? I want to make sure that Rose Vision is going in, that Compton has this space. And that's I think getting the community together, a Save Compton campaign type situation, even, you know, being a hip hop fan and looking at the big warfare that was going on with Drake and Kendrick. I'm like, bro, we got Kendrick right here on the wall. Like, how can I get to Kendrick? How can he know as he fighting up there? Like, we right here too in the city fighting too. And I know you fighting for the city already. So it's like, man, bro, I would love to connect with him to see if there's anything he could bring to the table or can help funnel here, and we can get that same big energy, get it going in here, and because we really doing it for Compton, for kids that's looking up to him and everybody else. You got YG on the wall. You know what I'm saying? How can we do an event to raise some money and do something for Compton? That's kind of where my head is now. You know,
this is something the city needs for real. And it's not even, you know, especially for me, it's hard for me because I look on these walls and I see a bunch of, you know, my homies or people I grew up with, some of them I idolize, you feel me? So it's mind-boggling, especially for somebody that, you know, that's, I wouldn't say you're connected to the culture, but detached from the area, but just as equally invested.
Yeah.
I can't do nothing but have the utmost respect for somebody that's willing to give back to my people, because a lot of these individuals on this wall, sadly, they've done less than what you've done for the city. You're not even from here.
Yeah. No, that's crazy.
So it's not, you know, and it's just calling a spade a spade.
No, for
you
sure.
know, and it doesn't have nothing to do with your geographical area in regards to where you grew up at. It's just where your heart is at, you know? And my heart gonna always be in the city. And if anybody else hard in the city, we need to band together and really keep this situation going for real.
No, that's real. Sheesh, that's tough. Well, that's when it comes to the city, man. Y'all hear what we on. Y'all see what we on. I love for us to band together and figure this out. Of seeing how do we keep Rose Vision going? How do we keep the wellness going in this community and rebuilding it and make sure people have access and to the knowledge, to the food, to the everything that we got going on here. You know, the goal is for this to be a community center. KJ talked to me about it. Yeah. Like, he want to use that nonprofit to make sure that this space is open for the community to really be able to develop the new era that Compton is going into. And all we could do is say, please stay tuned. Please be vigilant and like proactive with what we doing as we are figuring this out. Like right now, please just be ready to go on this journey with us, and we're gonna have something for you by that. We're gonna cut these cameras off and we're gonna get to it, and by the time y'all see the next stuff, we're gonna have something for us to, a call to action, if you will, for us to really make something happen. And I respect anybody that truly show up and mean what they say and be on that, because that's what we doing, that's what KJ doing. I know that for a fact, for real.
Yeah, so like I say, my calling just to the city. You know, let's do it for the hub. Let's band together. You know, we all one. We all we got. You know, Doc said it best. It's Compton against the industry.
Nah, that's real. Nah, that's real. Look, nigga, drink to that.